Today, let's talk about a really fundamental shift happening in luxury hospitality. It's about moving away from just listing what you have and instead communicating a feeling. And I truly believe this is the single most important factor in building the kind of loyalty that lasts.
We all know this scene, right? It's a beautiful welcome, it's the promise of something special. But the way we've all been taught to sell this experience, the way you're probably selling it right now, is with a list of features. And that method is, frankly, broken.
I mean, let's just be honest with ourselves. What really stays with a guest long after they've gone home? You spend all this time crafting these perfect lists, but nobody remembers the thread count or the brand of shampoo. They remember how they felt.
Now, the issue here isn't that what you offer isn't exceptional. I'm sure it is. The problem is that when you describe it using the same old language, you sound exactly like everybody else. And in the luxury space, the same as is a death sentence.
You've seen this list 1,000 times. This is the language of predictable luxury. And when every single brand is using these exact same phrases, they just become background noise. Your potential guest just scrolls, they compare prices, and they move on because nothing has actually grabbed their imagination. You've been lost in the noise.
So, what's the solution? Well, it's a quiet but really profound change in philosophy. It's about shifting your entire focus from the physical inventory of your hotel to the emotional imprint you leave on a person. Okay, look at this. It lays out the two mindsets perfectly. On one hand, you have inventory. That's all about what you can count, the tangible things. It's about proving your value with facts. But on the other side, you have the imprint. And that is all about what can only be felt. It doesn't prove anything. It suggests something. It awakens curiosity, and it creates a feeling that's really hard to describe, but impossible to forget. And that is what brings people back.
And here's the crucial point. The amenity itself, your beautiful spa, your incredible pool, that's just the stage. The real story, the thing that becomes a permanent memory, is the feeling a guest has on that stage.
All right, so let's dig into our first pillar of how to build this. It's all about embracing restraint. Because restraint is the ultimate signal of confidence to a modern, affluent traveler. Think about it. When you are truly, deeply confident in the quality of the experience you've created, you don't feel that need to justify it, do you? You don't have to over-explain every little detail. The experience just speaks for itself. This trust is, in itself, a form of luxury. When you give your guest the space to discover the nuances of their stay on their own, you make them an active participant in the story, not just some consumer of services. You're showing them respect, and that, right there, builds a powerful personal connection. Okay, so our second pillar takes that idea of trust and goes even further. This is about structuring the guest's entire stay, not as a series of transactions, but as a thoughtfully composed story. With a beginning, a middle, and an end. This really shows the difference. Ask yourself, are you simply managing a stay, just checking boxes from arrival to departure? Or are you composing a seamless journey where every moment flows naturally into the next, making the whole experience feel, well, inevitable and just right? This is such a critical reframing for your brand. Your pool, your restaurant, they aren't the main event. They are the perfectly lit stages where your guests get to live out their own stories and create their own memories. So this all sounds great, but how do you actually put it into practice? Let's get into the toolkit. This is where we see how to translate those dry, boring features into evocative feelings in your marketing and your communication. Do you feel the power in that shift? I mean, the first one is just a fact. The second one, that's a feeling. The first description can be found anywhere. The second one can only be found with you. It doesn't describe the pool. It describes the experience of being at the pool. See? Same thing. We are not listing what we have. We're painting a picture. We're suggesting a moment in time, creating a sensory story that is so much more compelling than just saying you have a restaurant. And this gets to the very heart of true service. It's not about a list of things a concierge can do for you. It's about that feeling of complete effortlessness, of being so perfectly understood that your needs are met before you even realize you have them. So after all this, what's the ultimate goal? What's the real lasting payoff for adopting this entire philosophy of imprint over inventory? This is it. This is the pinnacle. When you successfully compose a guest's story, you actually create a shift in their inner rhythm. You help them disconnect from their frantic, scheduled lives and sink into a totally different pace. That feeling of time actually slowing down is maybe the greatest luxury of all. And this is what builds true, unshakable loyalty. A guest might not be able to put that feeling into words for a TripAdvisor review, but they know they want to feel it again. This quiet, unforgettable imprint is what will have them booking their next stay before they've even checked out of this one.
So this is the question I really want you to ask yourself. Are you still focused on the inventory, the stuff you can count, the tangible things? Or have you started that journey toward crafting the intangible, the emotional imprint that truly defines what luxury means today?
I'll leave you with that thought, because your answer to that question isn't just going to define your marketing strategy. It's going to define the entire future and the ultimate success of your brand.